I work with clients fairly frequently who tell me they want to work on projecting more confidence. Sometimes they call it executive presence, that sort of thing. And there's something fundamentally paradoxical about that. Uh, it's kind of like trying to look cool. There's nothing less cool than someone who's trying to look cool. And I think the same thing applies with trying to project confidence. At best, you won't look confident. You look like someone who's trying to look confident. People want to talk about body language, posture, tonality, what to do with your hands. And yeah, all of that does play a role, but I think indirectly. The problem is uh, fundamentally, if you're trying to appear confident, where's your attention at? Your attention is on things like, how do I look? How's my posture? Am I speaking too fast? What am I doing with my hands? Which is all ultimately kind of a proxy for what are they thinking of me? And so at the root of it, your attention is now focused on what other people are thinking of you, which is sort of a working definition of being self conscious, which is the opposite of being confident. So here's why I think trying to project confidence is fundamentally a self defeating goal. Uh, and here's what you should do instead: work on getting comfortable with what's true. So, what do I mean by that? If you think about it, let's take an example. You're in a meeting, you've just given a presentation, and then someone asks you a question. Maybe it's a bit of a curveball and you don't have the answer. What happens? All of a sudden, you're back in third grade, and the teacher's just called on you to answer a question in front of the class. You don't know the answer, and so panic sets in. Oh no, I'm in trouble. I should know this. I didn't do my homework, right? And all of these statements kind of arise in your inner dialogue that generally take the form: there's something wrong here. Things should be different from how they are. And more specifically, I should somehow be different from how I am. And that's, I think, at the root of the lack of confidence that people are trying to transcend or get past. So when I say work on getting comfortable with what's true, it's really work on cultivating a deep inner sense of just knowing that you're okay in any situation. There's nothing wrong here. Everything is as it should be. I am exactly as I should be in this moment. For example, if you don't know the answer to a question, you've all heard the advice: don't make something up, just say, I don't know, let me get back to you. That's one example. But I'm not just talking about what to say, I'm talking about the belief underlying it. The belief that it's okay in this moment. Whatever I do know and whatever I don't know are fine. My worth and my value and even the way people perceive me is not linked to whether or not I have the answer to this question or what I'm doing with my hands in the presentation. What you're looking for is just a deep sense of inner calm and that baseline feeling and deep sense of knowing that all is well. And what that comes from, or what I think one of the most effective ways to access that, is just really getting comfortable with what's true. And there's, depending on the specific nuances of your inner critic's criticism of you, we can look at that and deconstruct it and really reframe each of those beliefs to get to a place of just knowing I'm as I should be in this moment. What's true is totally fine. Um, one simple one would be if you're concerned about not knowing something, well, odds are you probably weren't hired for what you already know. More likely, you were hired for how you think. There's a million examples like that. But the point I want to leave you with is stop trying to project confidence and instead do the inner work of getting deeply comfortable with what's true. I hope this was useful. Thanks very much.